Now today we'll be just unboxing this iPhone 17 Pro Max in cosmic orange color. The reason behind getting this color is obviously it's a new color, it's popping color, and it's the hype of the this new iPhone 17 Pro Max. There's obviously a new blue color as well in the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and then there's one silver color. But obviously this color is the one which got a lot of hype. I know there has been a lot of scratch issues going on with the uh, blue color, and so I thought to just go ahead and just get the orange one, just to get a little bit of change from those all dull colors from the Apple that are being launched in the past with the iPhone 16 and before that one. Now we don't get like much expectation from this one, like the things which are like obviously Apple have redesigned this Apple to somewhat the back, and they have just compromised on the quality from being stainless steel, then moving to titanium, then they moved back to the aluminum to achieve the better thermals on the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the Pro models. Now all of the iPhones are now aluminum. There's no different uh, like material. You will just get like from down from the 17 all the way to the 17 Pro Max, you're just getting the aluminum finish in this one. So we just go ahead and just dive into the box itself. If you look at the box, so we get the yellow Apple logo as color match. You have the iPhone mention over here, then there's Apple logo on the top, there's again iPhone, and on the top you get some printed kind of abrasion kind of texture on the front. Pretty much nice as always, obviously very minimalistic packaging. Now obviously we just go ahead and just unbox this one. It's new, and it got pretty much smooth, like the especially the removing of these tabs, like before you had, they don't get so off easily. So the rebuilding time is here obviously, and here it is. The iPhone 17 Pro Max over here is here finally. And in person, if I would just say, like it's very orange, like it's very dark orange kind of like it's very kind of funky color. From the first look, I would just say like it's kind of for a person uh, who's funky, or you can say who just loves colors a lot. It doesn't look professional at all in my opinion. Like I wouldn't want to be just keeping this color in a setting where there's some meeting going on or it's a professional setting. I wouldn't recommend this color to be. I think the better choice would be the blue color, which will be the better choice, and I might incline towards that color if I want to use this phone for the longer terms. I'm not sure about the scratch condition on that phone, but nevertheless, like obviously uh, I'm just using the case and screen protector with the phone itself. So yeah, so I would just say uh, I'm not inclining towards so much toward this color. Like obviously it's beautiful for someone who likes. It's subjective. And we just first just have a look on this one. There's nothing much more going on. I just keep this one aside. The feel is pretty much nice to the iPhone itself. We don't get much stuff. We get the same. We get the same Type C to Type C charging cable. Then there is Apple very minimalistic. Like absolutely, there's nothing. Like I think this. It's just say you no longer need a physical SIM card, and that's kind of a new thing that you get in the iPhone. Then there's absolutely nothing, like even like you get nothing, literally nothing. Like you get just these two things. The cable itself, they even remove the papers as well. Like they're cutting down so much on cost, and very strange, like very minimalistic kind of packaging. I would say like a subpar experience you will just get out of it. Absolutely nothing. Like they're like each passing day, honestly, we are just as we are just passing, you're just getting absolutely nothing in the box itself. Like even the paperwork they have reduced to just mentioning that there's no physical SIM uh in the iPhone this time. These ones you get a little bit of the color matched over here. These, if you can see, these are like orange, all of the orange. So here's the power button, same like last year. You get the camera button over here, you get volume up and down, and action button, or you can say you can customize it. Now let's talk about the design. First, remove this one. Okay, pretty much nice. Now we just keep this box aside, but because obviously there's nothing much going on in the box itself. Pretty much basic as every other year, and now it's getting more basic, to be honest. Let's focus on the phone itself. So the phone itself, if I'll just say, so design wise, I would just say it has been improved in a way that I like it. Like the curve on this one is really comfortable to hold. It has been more comfortable to hold than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I would just say. Obviously it's a big phone, so but it doesn't feel so big in the hand, like if especially you're just used to like bigger phones. uh, this touch obviously on the back is, it's like a subjective thing, like the iPhone Apple logo is like not centered this time, which I'm noticing. So it's centered to this portion, but it's not centered to the phone. So the phone making companies, if you're just using a transparent case with that magnetic charger, so obviously that wouldn't align with that when it looks a little bit awkward, and that's kind of a challenge for the cell phone companies to design the case for this Apple, unless you're just using like the whole transparent case, or you're just using like a whole colored case so that just hides all of the back. In that case, yeah, that will work, but yeah, this one is not centered to the phone, it is centered to only this portion, which is quite awkward decision I think that Apple have made. And it just ruins the purpose like of I mean, it's if you have like the OCD, so you might not like this if you're just using the magnetic charger one. So yeah, that will be kind of looking awkward, like it seems something is pretty much off from the phone itself. Now I'm being like subjective on this one, but the thing is that overall the phone has been pretty much great while in terms of the holdability. But the thing I didn't like they have just stretched out this one, and this thing feels pretty much empty now. uh, the benefit of this one, obviously the phone will be a little wobbly. You will just see it's very little wobbly. It's like they have just tried to copy the concept of the Pixel phones, I would just say, to make it longer. It's a little bit wobbly on the table itself, so that's kind of an advantage of that. A little bit of wobbliness you're just getting because of this camera mount. Other than that, all of this one like is a little bit raised, so you don't get that much of the wobbliness. So the lidar sensor, they have moved to the right, the mic and the LED flash, they have moved to the extreme right, and then kept the lenses on the left, itself. Now the all cameras on this one are like 48 megapixels. Additional thing you'll notice, like if I'll just show in the right conditions, so you'll see like this color is pretty much different. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like I think they're just pretty much inclined towards copying kind of a Pixel phones, the older generations, where they have like a top is different color, then there's camera, and then there's different color on the bottom. I think they have just trying to follow and just giving the kind of a different color or like a mixed color look to the iPhone itself. They have changed this thing. I'm not sure. I'm not the fan of this one, honestly. Like it's look pretty much off. Like it looks like there has been a battery pack being placed on the back of it. Other than that, if you're just using a black case with it, that will look pretty much dope. Only orange this one. If you're a fan of this orange color, so obviously like you're gonna love this one. I do love the orange color, but I didn't like the perspective of that Apple have done over here. Like it's a matte finish, and the fact that the Apple logo is not centered to the phone, and this whole back is obviously of a different color, gives you a kind of a color, different color look to it. But yeah, it's kind of subjective, it depends from person to person, but I'm a little bit not fan of this one. Could be like if they have just color matched all of the phone, then it will look a little bit better. Now the one thing is that Apple has changed this time is there's no glass on the back, so only this portion is glass. And the benefit of this one is like the phone is kind of a more durable, although they have just made the one unibody instead of just making glass and then the glass on the front and just a chassis being sandwiched in between those two glasses. Now you have much more gap over here, if you'll see. So once you drop your phone, so there are much more chances you're not going to break this glass unless if it falls something sharp and hit here. I know like most of the people will be using the case, but one thing I'm noticing, like, it's again I would like to mention, it's very easy to hold in the hands. Like, it's very non-slippery. Like, I knew like the 16 pros were a little bit slippery in hands due to the titanium. This one is pretty much great to hold. Like, there's zero slip. You can just use this phone like without the case if you want to, if you're a fan of that thing. And it should be good enough to hold on in your hands pretty much perfectly. I really like the feel of this phone. Now, I really like one thing on the front itself. There hasn't been much things changed in the front, except that Apple have just used the squarish camera on the front, which makes the, so they have just used the newer sensor on the front, which is square, so you can just take vertically and horizontally, as what however you want to like the picture. So you can do it without tilting the phone itself. Like, so that's kind of a good thing that I would just say in terms of that one. And you're just getting much bigger real estate in the camera itself, in the picture. So yeah, I was talking about like one thing I really like with this orange color. If you see these corners orange, they add so much to the aesthetics of this phone from the front if you're just viewing the phone itself. So I like the front pretty much. Like, I really like the orange and black. And if I want to just use this phone with the with the same color, if I want to just keep the same color, so definitely I will just go ahead and just do a black and orange combination. I would be just loving that one so much. You can just use the skin on the back, like a honeycomb skin on the back. You can leave the corners to be as orange, and that will give you a pretty much nice to the feel where it looks a little bit professional. That how you can just manage this phone. Or you can just get the uh, like a black case on the back, and I think that will be just doing up pretty much well. I would just recommend to just use the black skin, and the corners should be like orange, should look pretty much dope, this phone. And we'll just keep the aesthetics of this phone as to be more professional. uh, I think now this time Apple has removed the I mean, not thing, but the Apple have removed the what you call the physical sim, as that's kind of a highlight. They have just placed the paper in the box as well. uh, I'm not fan of that one, pretty much because the physical sim is obviously like very easy to remove and switch in between the phones, especially people who are just having a multiple phones you're just keeping. So for that reason, I would just say like that's kind of a bummer for from the Apple side. But on the other hand, the advantage of this one is that you're less prone to just having your data being leaked or being stolen, if your phone, god forbid, gets stolen. So that's kind of advantage in regards to that one. So uh, but yeah, if if everything goes right, I wouldn't want to just keep the physical, I wouldn't want to just keep the eSIM to be used with this phone. Like, that's kind of a hectic now. Like, now it's being vastly followed by the Apple, that the eSIM is being used in these phones. You can see there's antenna on the top. There's the, if you can see, there's antenna, which is, I'm not sure for what, like so yeah, you can see the antennas on over here. And yeah, so let's talk about the design itself as well, like what you get over here. So obviously on the left side, you're just getting the same layout as the action button, volume up and volume down. Pretty much nice feel to it, kind of a like a very smooth touch, very nice. And here you get the two antenna bands. And now one thing you'll notice, like from on the side, like the antenna band is, if the antenna band is like following all the way on the sides of the camera over here, like it's just covering all the way. And now the antenna lens is just coming down and matching the camera bump itself on both sides. Then there's one this side, this looks like a separate battery. You get the three lenses, then you get the lidar sensor, your LED flash, and your mic. uh, on the bottom, pretty much similar layout. So you get the type C charging port, you get the mic and a speaker over here. And if we talk about the other side, so you get the camera button over here, you get the power on and off, you get the two antenna bands. Now on the top you have just one antenna band. I think that's a 5G one. I assume like that's for that. Now I see like there has been a lot of cutouts for the antennas on the this iPhone. I'm not sure like if there is something coming up in the future with the upgrades, like which Apple will upgrade with regards to software, or might be this will be having a better connectivity. And this kind of a color that you might uh, would just, I think, which eventually like grows on you with time. And once it grows, like you cannot just forego it, obviously. That's what I think. Like it sometimes like the color you don't like initially, but it sometimes it's grow, it takes a little bit of time to grow on you. But the navy blue or the blue, I think that Apple has launched, like that's kind of a color like which is like most vastly people will be just preferring that one or the silver one, mainly because that's very common and like it's very decent color. This like little bit slightly off. Like I think the Apple is following the somewhat like they want to introduce something like funky kind of colors in their pro lines, because previously we've been noticing like with the Apple, like Apple has been very subtle with their colors, like the black, silver, golden, and like these kinds of colors they launch in the Pro Max, and all of the funky color just goes back to the lineup of 16 and 17s, like regular 17s and 16s. Now this time the Apple have launched the this color to offer something different to the users who just want to have the Pro and just want to use the funky colors, or they like the funky colors. So I think that's kind of a good addition. I wouldn't say that Apple was wrong on this one, but the only respect there, if they could have just done simply a little bit better. And the only thing is that this big pump, it feels like something is missing in between. Like that's kind of a pretty much big gap. It feels like I'm not fan of this thing, like so much gap in between that Apple have tried. It's like something needs to be included here. And I'm not sure like what's the point of just moving these two like on the front. Maybe they want to make a room for this front new sensor, maybe, so there's a reason they have just moved this one on the right. I think that could be the only reason that this part is empty. Other than that, like all of the phone is kind of very subjective in terms of the look. Yeah, but yeah, so this is like the orange color unboxing, and I'll be just shooting out the first review of this phone, and we'll see like how that one goes. And one more thing, like Apple have introduced like the anti-reflective, but I'm not sure, it doesn't feel like the anti-reflective at all. Like, so yeah, that's all for today. If you guys have any questions, so you can let me know down in the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe. That will be helpful for the channel. And thank you for watching again. Have a good day. Bye.